Hello there. In this video we're going to look at the Pythagorean theorem and its converse. For this first problem, A denotes the side that's opposite the 90-degree angle. Therefore, in this problem, A is the hypotenuse, and I'm going to write an equation that relates 15, 8, and A. Now I'm going to evaluate 15 squared and 8 squared, and add 225 and 64 together. So A squared is 289, and I want to know what A is, so I have to take the square root of both sides. It turns out it's a whole number in this case. The square root of 289 is 17. And I'm done for that one. Now we turn our attention over here. Opposite the 90-degree angle we have this 8. So C in this case is not going to be the hypotenuse either, and I'm going to write the equation. So 6 squared plus C squared is 8 squared. I got to get C squared by itself. I'm going to subtract 6 squared from both sides. Evaluate what 8 squared and 6 squared are. And that's going to lead me to 64 minus 36, so I know what C squared is. Trying to solve for C, I have to take the square root of both sides, but square root of 28, I'm not going to leave it like that. I want this in simplest radical form. I need to build a factor tree. 28 splits into 4 and 7, and 4 splits into 2 and 2. There are my pairs. So C in this case is going to be 2 square roots of 7, and you can type it back in to test it out. For this bottom section, we are given the 3 lengths, and the question is, does this even form a right triangle? So, I'm going to set it up. I always pay attention to what the largest one is first. If it is going to be a right triangle, that 60 has to be the hypotenuse, so I put it on the side by itself. Now I write the equation. All those are just numbers, so we can evaluate what 11 squared, what 59 squared, what 60 squared are, and add together the left-hand side. 3602 is not equal to 3600, so our conclusion is that this is not a right triangle. As close as these numbers are, it doesn't make a perfect 90-degree angle. It's going to be very, very close, but it's not exactly 90. Okay, next one over here. Don't just write them in order. Pay attention. 666, that is the largest one. That has to be by itself. If this one has a hypotenuse, it's going to be that number. Evaluate what each of those numbers are. Tremendously helpful to have a calculator from time to time. Okay, now let's add together this number and this number. And this one checks out, so this one does make a right triangle. When doing these problems, please showcase your starting formulas and the various work that is accompanied with it. Character and Scholarship for Life.